Happy birthday, Martin Luther King. Happy birthday. January 15th, 2024. And happy birthday, salute to Martin Luther King Jr. Without him, we wouldn't have seen the ugly stuff of the world. He had a nonviolent movement where he was gonna fight back through peace. He wasn't gonna If they shot him, he wasn't gonna shoot back. He was gonna be nonviolent. And without Martin Luther King, we wouldn't have known how bad or negative the world was. Because how could you hurt somebody that's not violent at all? You're just marching peacefully, and you're sicking dogs on him. You're beating him with sticks. You're hitting him with bricks, and this man is not violent at all. He just wants better for his people. How can you hurt somebody like that? A minister at that. If we so-called religious and believe in God, how could you do something like that? But back then was a different thinking. So, I can kind of understand, but it wasn't right. You know, some things we didn't know about Martin Luther King. Uh, Try to pick out the positive stuff. Some of the stuff, I don't know where it was going. So Martin's real name was Michael Luther King. And I guess he changed his name to Martin after a German activist. Something this German activist did that inspired him. He changed his name to Martin Luther King. I mean, Martin, instead of Michael Luther King. This German activist must have been really powerful, must have really touched uh, Michael Luther King, which his name is Martin. It's confusing, right? But he must have did something really powerful that touched him, and he changed his name. Martin Luther King was the first Black person to be named Time Man of the Year in 1963. You know, I don't know how big or important that was because I was born in 1976, so I don't know how. I'm assuming that not many blacks have made this cover, and for him to make it, is a big thing. Um, Martin Luther King improvised part of his "I Have a Dream" speech. You know, he was he made up a different speech, something called "Normalcy Never Again," and the late great singer Mahalia Jackson said, "Tell him about the dream, Martin." But I guess before he said he spoke about the dream, or other people thought he spoke about the dream too much. But Mahalia Jackson was like, "Tell him about the dream," and he went in and he told him about the dream. You know, so he says, "So even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a deep dream, deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self evident that all man created equal." That's right. That was the dream. All men created equal. And the dream came through. True. And I think he also mentioned that he may not get here with us, but he see it happen. And it happened. You was right, Martin. It happened. So also there was an assassination attempt on Martin Luther King in 1958, I believe. A lady walked up to him while he was signing books, autographs, and stabbed him in his chest. And he survived it and missed his main lung or something by inches. And he survived it. You know, sometimes people I think the lady was a black female. But sometimes people view certain people in a negative light. Maybe they think this person is making it harder for us. Why is Martin Luther King going against the system? He's making it harder for us. We got to do something about this guy before the system be hard on us. Just be quiet and don't argue back with the system, and the system will let us exist, and things will get better. But that's usually not how it is. And if you want something, sometimes you got to fight for it. That's what Martin Luther King was attempting to do in his way. Malcolm X had his own way, and through both of these guys, we saw what was needed to be done. As far as getting the freedom. You know, they can build out a blueprint. You saw one was nonviolent, and one was like eye for eye. You shoot me, I'm gonna shoot you back. So you can build your own conclusions here. Do this, don't do this. Not saying that violence was needed, but like I said, one was nonviolent, one was violent. You can build a conclusion from both of these guys of how we go about freedom or equality. I think we was free, we just didn't have equality. King is the only non-president whose birthday is a national holiday. The only non-president whose birthday is a national holiday. And I think this is good because like I said once again, the guy was non-violent, just marching peacefully, and was getting beat down like he was a terrorist threat. So people so filled with hate, so scared of what he was doing that they was beating him down. The push for a federal holiday in honor of King began just 4 days after his assassination on April 4th, 1968. Some not feeling that. They don't feel that, okay, you get this man a holiday after he died. But nonetheless, he got it. He'll go down in history as a key figure. We'll never forget him. Also, King started college at 15. I thought also he graduated at 15. King skipped grades 9 through 12, and by the age of 15 was admitted to Morehouse College, a prestigious historically black college in Atlanta that both his father and maternal grandfather attended. But you got to be really smart. You attended Morehouse, your father attended Morehouse, and your grandfather. I mean, this dude was smart. So some things, some people in life is just meant to be. He was going to be good at something. I think also it said that King thought he would be better served as a lawyer or a doctor helping his people. He didn't want to be a minister. But eventually he changed his mind and became a minister. Okay, the King family paid hospital bill for Julia Roberts' birth. Actress Julia Roberts revealed that the King family covered her parents' hospital expenses when she was born in 1967. Oh, wow. My parents couldn't pay for the hospital, she told Gayle King in 2022 interview in the History Channel. Uh, Roberts explained that her parents owned a theater school in Atlanta and that Coretta Scott King asked if her children could enroll. They were having a hard time finding a place that would accept her kids. My mom was like, sure, come on, Robert said. And so they all just became friends and they helped us out of a jam. Wow, actress Julia Roberts. Which one? It's Julia Roberts. But that's something we didn't know. Oh, that even shocked me. Anyway, ex King was arrested 30 times. And this one I can believe because, like I said, America was so filled with hate that, you know, any non-violent or non-breaking the law thing this guy was doing. They was harassing him, beating him, and arresting him, and stuff like that. So I can believe that. Uh, his family believes James Earl Ray was framed for his assassination. Uh, James Earl Ray, okay, the guy that was at the other hotel across the way. Many believe James Earl Ray was framed, but he really didn't do this. The one, the guy that seemed that smart, and the shot was so accurate. So many believe that he didn't act alone or he didn't do it. But just a coincidence, he's sitting there with a rifle. But when people want to set things up, that's how it goes. Anybody can be sitting there with a rifle. If maybe some guy tell you, meet me here, we're gonna go to the gun range. It's just as simple as that, you know. And now you sitting there with that rifle and you hear a shot that's not from your gun, and the guy never showed up who said he wanted to go to the gun range. But guess what? You going to jail for killing a minister leader. Martin Luther King was the youngest person to be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Another good monumental moment for Martin Luther King, being the youngest person. I'm sure what he did on a non-violent level touched a lot of people. Like, hey, hold up, this ain't right. This guy is not non-violent, and he's being killed and beaten. So even uh, some of the most racist people probably said, hey, hold up, this doesn't make sense. Like I said before, he was named after Protestant reformer Martin Luther King was born Michael King Jr. on January 15, 1929, but in 1934, his father, a pastor at Atlanta Ebenezer Baptist Church, also named Michael King, went on a religious trip around the world and was inspired by Germany's Protestant Reformation figure Martin Luther, whose advocacy and teachings challenged the Catholic Church and contributed to the split in Western Christianity. After returning to the U.S., his father made the decision to change his 5-year-old son's name and his own in honor of Protestant Reformation leader Martin Luther King Jr.'s birth certificate was officially revised on July 23, 1957. Hmm. So his father changed the name. I thought Martin changed his own name, but his father changed the name. So he was touched by this German Protestant Reformation figure. Interesting. That's all I have on that. Today we remember Martin Luther King Jr. Uh, I always remember that I Have a Dream speech and his wife, how she stood there and by her man and some other negative stuff, the the way his phones were tapped and the way this guy was just harassed until he was no more. But today we want to stay positive and remember King. I'm sure he'll live on forever. What he did can't be replaced or can't be overlooked. So hopefully on this day, everybody take a moment to enjoy Martin Luther King life. Kids, research about him. Know all you need to know about him. Know all you need to know about history, period. You should research history, period. You can research rap, R&B music, and pop and movies. Take time and research history. But definitely research Martin Luther King. Once again, happy birthday. This is my little 2 cents something I'm